Alright, we're here on the riverbank, and I got the brush cutter on, the RUT Tree Slayer it's called. And this is the first time I've used this here on this riverbank, so I don't know what all I'm gonna hit. I'd like to get down this area right here and clean all that up out there and this whole slope here. If you go down to there where that mud is, it's mud. I'll sink the machine. But I can get down, I think, climb down right in here and get on this level here and get all this cut. So I'm just gonna start somewhere and see where it goes. I've also got a lot up there. It's kind of where my trail goes along the riverbank. And so from here all the way down, I'll have to do all that from the top, reaching over. look what we have here, the Steve G coming around the bend. He's got a strong wind coming straight down the chute from that curve there, so we'll see if he can make it in one shot or if he's gonna end up on that riverbank over there, because that's where they end up a lot. Getting this all cleaned up nice though. I always hated this big poof down here. I was kind of nervous climbing down here. Hopefully we can get out, but it's pretty dry out today. We haven't had rain in a long time. But down here, it's soft. Well, I sure wish I had a bucket down here. I've got this big hump of dirt out here in the middle of nowhere, and I'd like to drag all that back and kind of fill in this slope here where it's, you know, there's a couple drop-offs there. So I got a pile of dirt up top. I might use some of that, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna try to grub this hump here to get some of the roots and some of the vegetation out of there so it doesn't grow back so quick. That's one really nice thing about this tree slayer too, is it's got this tooth edge on the back to be able to do some digging and stuff like this with it, rather than just being only a brush cutter. So I'm gonna pull down over here and kind of drag some of this dirt back, and I put a bunch of these sticks and logs here for me to walk over so I don't sink down in this mud again here. All right, well, I'm pretty happy with that. Knock that big hump out here down a little bit and spread it back that way. And got out of the low spot with the machine. So I guess I'm gonna start tracking that way and brush cut as I go along. Well, I didn't shoot all that, but I got this whole riverbank cleaned up. And now there's a nice view out there with no little shrubs blocking. Obviously I didn't get down there. I don't know. I've been down there before and gotten stuck with the Mini, so avoided that today. Got a little cleanup to do with the grapple, but the main thing is we got a clear view out to the river. So, really happy with that. So my thoughts on this tree slayer, you know, I like it. It does the job. I think for what I cut, you know, these blades are really hefty, but they only stick out about 6 inches from the blade carrier here. And these carbide teeth obviously do a good job on grinding down stumps a little bit, but if the stump is kind of small and it moves, then it doesn't really cut it. It needs to be like kind of a sturdy stump. But then if it gets too big of a stump, then you can't grind it down because it's not a real mulcher, you know. And I think for most of the things that I cut, a standard brush cutter that has a blade with a cutting edge of, say, you know, that long, maybe a 2-blade carrier with a longer bush hog type blade, might cut a lot of the thin brush better. Whereas this here, you know, cuts through some of the larger, you know, 3 to 4 inch diameter pretty good. 99% of what you're cutting is not that big. So anyway, like I said, it does the job for me. I don't know, some people are into the flail mowers nowadays. There's also the real disc drum mulchers. There's a lot of options out there. So anyway, something to keep in mind. If you got any questions about it, leave them in the comments. I'll definitely reply with any thoughts I've got on this setup. Thanks.